Welcome to day 3, everyone. We are so excited for what the last 2 days have brought us and are so excited for day 3. As you know, our whole theme has been leading a legacy the last 3 days. So something to think about for today, but also for the next coming months, the next coming years, is what kind of legacy will you leave? That is going to be the biggest question and takeaway from all 3 days. So just keep thinking about that in the back of your mind. But today we are super excited because today is going to be all about HPP and our chapters. So we're going to be talking all things chapters throughout the day today. And if you don't know me, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Abby. I've been with HPP for about 2 years. One of the biggest projects I work on with the Illinois Human Performance Project is our ILHPP prescription playbook. I've done a lot of work with that over the last few years. Building new manuals, new materials, but as far as HPP goes, my favorite event in the last 2 years has definitely been last year's summer conference. I really loved getting to work with all of our chapters and interact with all of our leaders, and I'm so excited for what's to come for each of you.
Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Kara. I'm with the ILHPP team. You know, we always love talking about leading a legacy, so what kind of legacy will you lead? I have been with the ILHPP team for about 3 years now, and one of my favorite events that I've loved working on is actually an event where we did a one-on-one training with Elk Grove High School and their ILHPP chapter Aspire. So I really love the opportunity to just work with a school individually and help them become their best leaders. And so that's something that's really awesome that ILHPP offers, is that one-on-one opportunity to work with your schools and help you with your specific needs. So stay tuned for our training, and we can't wait to talk with you soon.
Hi, I'm Jess. I've been with HPP team since January. One of my favorite events that I went to was Coach's Clinic. Yeah.
Hey guys, talk about leading a legacy, right? We all want to make sure that we're making an impact. I'm Danielle, and I'm with the Illinois Human Performance Project team, and I've been with this project since it began in this state, which was probably over 4 years ago now. So it's been such a pleasure to get to see this program continue to grow, get to meet all of you guys, and just see where it's come so far. My favorite event, I would have to say, was our first conference. And really looking back at that and seeing where we are now and all of the chapters that have come about since then and all of the people that we and you and all of our chapters have impacted is just super exciting. So I'm loving being here today and seeing even more chapters grow. All right, guys, so let's jump into today. We wanted to give you guys a little bit of wrap up and a little bit of motivation as you start to go into your chapter work here. And so we're going to talk for a few minutes about leadership. This whole summit has been about leading a legacy. What does that mean to you? Now that you've seen all of these speakers, you've heard from so many great resources, heard so many great ideas, you tell me, what does leading a legacy mean? Jot down some ideas in the comments. We want to hear from you and get what your perspective might be. But really, leading a legacy is about leadership and making an impact on your community and being able to reach people who might not have otherwise been reached. So that's going to be a little bit of today's theme. So after you jot down some comments about what leading a legacy means to you, I want to start out by having you think about someone or maybe a couple of people who have been really influential in your life. Think of someone who really made a lasting impact, maybe last week, maybe a year ago, maybe when you were a really young kid. And what were the things that stand out about that person? Is it something they did? Is it the way that they talked to you? Is it the patience that they had with you as you were learning? I know a lot of my influencers, that's what they were. They were patient with me. They talked with me about a process, or they were helping me learn something new. And it takes that time and it takes that patience to be a leader. So think of that person as we go through today. You might have a couple of people that you want to think of as well, but channel them and really focus on what are things that you want to embody from them and how do you want to become your own leader, because no two leaders are the same. We all like to have an impact in different ways, and you have the chance now to find your own way to be leading a legacy. So in the ILHPP realm, we talk about leadership in 3 ways. So we have our personal, independent leadership, we have group leadership, and then leadership in general is really a 3rd tier of outreach. And I'm going to go through all of those and give you some time to just really think about how you want to be making an impact and how you identify as a leader. So first off, personal. This is really about the choices that you're making, the values that you have, and how you want to live your life as an individual. So if you want some guided questions as you go back later in the day, or maybe as I'm chatting, if you want to take some notes, go to page 27 of your participant packet. Starting on this page, we have some guided discussion or guided prompts for you to think about these 3 tiers. So when we talk about personal leadership, this is everything we've talked about this whole summit. It's what are the healthy choices that you're making? How do you want to be a better performer? How do you want to make sure that you're on point, whether you're preparing for an exam, whether you're preparing for an athletic meet or a performance that you're in, or maybe simply just being a great friend or a great brother or a great sister. How do you want to be and how do you want to perform for yourself? And this is really the foundation of being a great leader, because if you can't find what your values are and what your goals are, then it's going to be really challenging to go forward and lead others as well. So being able to know who you are as a leader and what you want to accomplish is going to make you an awesome role model. So take a second, jot down some ideas, and just think about, what do I want to achieve as a personal goal? The next phase of this is really about group or team leadership, and this is where a word called accountability comes in. We can have accountability for ourselves as individuals, and we definitely should, but having a group of peers, whether that's friends or family, an athletic team or a performance group, having those friends that can really say, hey, is this in line with what you want to achieve at the end of the day, is really an amazing opportunity to know that you have friends that will be there to support you and encourage you, and that you'll also do the same. If you see a friend who's making choices that don't quite align with what you want or with what they want or what the team needs or what the group is trying to achieve, that's an opportunity for conversation. And I think that's oftentimes challenging. Sometimes we worry, are they going to be upset if I say something? Or how am I going to respond if someone points something out to me that I'm not doing well? But the reality as a leader is that you need to learn how to grow and develop and recognize that when you're giving feedback or when someone else is giving feedback to you, that it's not a criticism, it's really just a way to help you grow and help you develop. So that's the second tier of leadership when we talk about that at the Human Performance Project. It's really about being able to work together to achieve a common goal, because we know if you're working towards a goal and someone's not picking up their slack, then you're not going to achieve what you guys want. Whether you're planning a chapter event, whether you're going for some award or project outcome, it really takes a team. So if you have your own values and your own goals in line, and you know your group or your team is going to hold yourselves accountable, you're in a good place, right? You're really creating a culture, and that's what HPP is all about, a culture of excellence, a culture of accountability, and a culture of optimal performance. But those of you who are watching today, I'm challenging you to the 3rd level, and this is just outreach leadership. And this is where you become an influencer. This is way more than just holding your team accountable. This is way more than, saying to your friend, hey, let's go do this to help ourselves reach our goals. This is now about teaching, and this is about impact, and this is about influencing your peers as a whole and your culture at your school and in your community. Now, this is a tall order. It's really looking at how are you going to make change within your organization. And there's so many things we can talk about and go into depth here, but I challenge you to look at those guiding questions to help you start developing goals of how can you start to make an impact, and how can you teach, and how can you lead others. And this is what you'll be doing in your debrief. You're going to start looking at what can my chapter do? What messages can we send out? What events can we host? How can we really start teaching our collective group what we want them to learn? How can we influence our whole school culture and not just the few of us who are a part of this leadership team? So it's exciting, but I do recognize that talking about leadership and talking about leading a legacy can definitely sound daunting. I just crammed 3 concepts into a couple short minutes, and I'm saying go out there and conquer the world. That's a lot to take in, and I totally understand that. The bottom line is really to start developing goals and starting small. Your legacy is really about the steps that you're making and you're moving forward with to achieve that legacy step by step. It's not something you need to do all at once. And if you're going to make the goal that you want to influence a classroom first, then by all means go for it. You don't need to jump to influencing your entire community right away. But I promise you that if you start building those goals and if you start working with your peers to achieve those goals, you're going to get really energized and really motivated, and you're going to get more involved, and you're going to end up leading that legacy on a larger scale and do even more than you realized that you could. So take a moment, think about the goals that you might want to achieve personally as your group or in your culture and your school and your community total. If one goal pops into mind or if a couple goals pops into mind, go ahead and jot those in the comments. We want to celebrate those with you. We want to know what you're trying to achieve. And our team's always here to help you break those down. And that's what we're here for, is to really mentor chapters and to help them understand that you guys really have the power to achieve whatever you want. And let me tell you this, from an adult perspective, that when students make the ask and that when students are excited and motivated and empowered and talk to their adult leaders respectfully but powerfully and ask for certain change, you're going to have much more success than any other adult, any of your teachers going in and trying to do the same. So find your passion, look for your leadership influence, and start making those goals. You'll see in that section, starting on page 27, each section of leadership that I just talked about has a goal sheet. So use that to start thinking about tangible, realistic goals that you can start with. Something you can do right now, today, that you can start working towards that goal. What's something this week that you can do? Is it making a phone call? Is it having a group meeting? And then what's something this month you can do? Maybe by the end of the month, you want to get yourself scheduled with a meeting with your superintendent. Or maybe you're looking to talk with your athletic director. Or maybe by the end of the month, you want to be a certain way done of progress to plan an event. Whatever it is, writing down those goals, thinking about the steps and how to break those down are really going to help you succeed. So, what kind of legacy will you leave? That's the question of the summit, right? What's really exciting is that so many of you have already started down this path. You're already in your progress of legacy. And so we're really excited to be able to recognize several of you who you've been nominated by your chapter members for doing amazing things. So stay tuned, and we're excited to honor you.
I first would like to take a moment to thank our chapter advisors for all the hard work that they've put into this school year. They have gone above and beyond to help their students and to help their chapters to grow and to flourish. You all have been so dedicated to the spirit of creating HPP chapters and what it means to live this lifestyle, and we couldn't do this hard work without you. So just wanted to take a moment to thank all the chapter advisors, give them a round of applause in the comments, and show those emojis and that love for the support of our chapter advisors. It is my privilege and my honor to now announce the awards and the nominations for this year's students. These awards and nominations came from our own chapter advisors and our student leaders, so I'm thrilled to announce these awards to you. The first award I would like to announce is the Making a Difference Award. This is someone who has made an impact in your school or community by exemplifying positive leadership, providing education, and sharing the ILHPP message. I'd like to announce the winners of the Making a Difference Award for Thomas Middle School, Abby W. For Barrington, Patrick D. For Fremd, Mahima M. For Buffalo Grove, Sammy W. And for Conant, Morgan B. Congratulations on your awards. The second award is the Leading a Legacy Award. This is someone who has created a lifestyle and purpose that is admirable and has consistently led by a positive example for others. Those awards are going to, at Thomas Middle School, Finley W. At Barrington, Charles F. At Buffalo Grove, Frank A. Conant, Thomas Y. And Prospect, Logan H. Congratulations on your Leading a Legacy awards. The next award is for Moving Mountains, and this is someone who has taken the lead on helping your chapter overcome a hardship or obstacle and continue to boost morale and positivity. Thomas, Avery B. Barrington, Patricia K. Buffalo Grove, Frank A. Conant, Hannah H. Congratulations on your Moving Mountain Awards. The next award is the Commitment to Excellence. This is someone who has dedicated their time, effort, and decisions to leading a life of excellence and is committed to the purpose and meaning of ILHPP. For the Commitment to Excellence, we are awarding at Thomas, Hannah G. Barrington, Katie C. At Buffalo Grove, Sammy W. And at Conant, Neha K. Congratulations. This last award is a little unique, and it is the Outstanding Leadership Award. This is awarded to one individual who exemplifies great strength, encouragement, and support to others as a leader, a person who many look to for guidance and direction. I would like to announce the winner of the Outstanding Leadership Award, and that is at Barrington High School, Patrick D. Congratulations, Patrick, on winning the Outstanding Leadership Award, and congratulations to all of our nominees and award winners. We are so proud of you.
To continue that conversation about leadership, we would like to talk to you about our student advisory team. The student advisory team allows two students or representatives from each chapter to come together and collaborate with one another on ways that they could better their chapters, or just to learn from one another and take that information back to their chapters and share that information with their chapters as a whole. We'd really like to just say thank you and recognize all of our student leaders who are a part of the student advisory team this year, but also highlight that our student advisory team is now accepting applications for next year. If you flip in the very end of your participation packet, you'll see a flyer that kind of details the student advisory team and what all that entails, as well as what dates you'd need to be available to join the team. So if you're interested, feel free to look back in your packet for more information and reach out to us to apply.
Guys, you are all so amazing. It is always the highlight of our ILHPP team to be able to recognize chapters and advisors and you student leaders who have done amazing work for the ILHPP program year after year, and it definitely gives us excitement and motivation, and I hope it does the same for you, to continue to encourage you to make an impact in your community and to lead a legacy moving forward. So for all of our award winners and chapter advisors and even our student advisory team members, leave some comments if you want to make your speech. We would love to hear just what it has meant to be a part of the ILHPP program and your chapters. So comment away so we can hear what your experiences have been. So we're going to segue into our last discussion here, which is going to be all about programming. This is what you guys do. This is what your chapters have come together for, and this is what you provide and impact your communities with. So whether your programs are actual events or ways of getting messages out, the information that you share and the work that you guys do to impact your culture is what you're all about. So I know that we're in a little bit different of a time now and that things might look different. So we'll talk about that and we'll give you guys some insight and some ideas of what you can do and what you can plan for with your school debrief time. Great. So who has seen one of these before? I was trying to think of a silly interactive way for us to start a discussion about programming. So we made our very own fortune teller here for you guys. So if you haven't seen one or you don't quite remember how to make one, just search how to make a paper fortune teller and you'll find a million instructions of how you can make one of these quick and easy. So I'm going to play a little game here, and I'm just going to pick my favorite color, which is blue. And so B-L-U-E. And then I'm going to pick a number here. I'm going to pick number 6. And the question I have here is, what is your favorite chapter event? So I asked that to you. What has been your favorite chapter event that your chapter has done? Maybe it was last year, maybe it was last week. Think about it. What made it so exciting? Why did you love it? Who did you have involved? What went into planning? Think about that for a second. I'm going to pick another one here and go red. R-E-D. And then I'm going to pick number 3. As a new member, how do you want to get the HPP or our chapter message out? So that's a great question. If we have anyone viewing who maybe hasn't been a part of the chapter before, or maybe you're a new leadership team member and you're going to have more of a voice in what programming your chapter does, how do you want to get your message out? So this was a silly way I came up with just to ask questions and think. Everything in here is related to programming. So what are some virtual program ideas? Who could you go to help you create a program? If you were to run an event again that you've already done, what would you do differently? So an activity like this is a great way just to check in and have a little interactive way to have conversation with your peers. It's also a great way to do an intro, an icebreaker. You can use this type of activity in so many ways, but I wanted to pose these questions to you to really start thinking about what is it that you want to have an impact on and get those wheels turning of what programs you guys can do. So we talked about there is a different world out there now. We're not sure what the fall is going to look like. A lot of things lately have been virtual, just like this summit has been this week. And you've also done a lot of amazing in-person things. I know our chapters have done great work with athletic teams. They've done brown bag lunch programs. They've done honk for sobriety events. So many good things, being in the classroom and in the school, face-to-face with your peers. And don't get me wrong, our team loves that. We love that hands-on, experiential, in-person connection, because that's what this is all about. We're about making connections with people and empowering and encouraging them to make great decisions. But if your eyes have been open these past few weeks, you'll see that that's still possible to do in a virtual world. You may need to tweak your ideas. You may need to rework how you're going to get a message out. But there's still so many things that you can do. And I want you guys to take your time in your school debrief to really explore those. Don't cut an idea out just because it's in person or just because it's virtual. You guys can make things happen. I've already heard of a chapter who's planning their own virtual summit training to welcome back freshmen and to get new members involved. So the sky's the limit for you guys. Think about, are there policies that you want to change at your school or protocol that you want to put in place before school gets back together? Do you want to send welcome messages out? Put together videos, host your own virtual summit. Maybe an event was in person. Do you have a creative way to make that virtual? I've seen dances, I've seen games, I've seen great discussions all being done online, and there's so many ways to do that. So plan for both scenarios. You'll see in your school debrief time that there are prompts and questions in your packet that are going to help you think through that. It doesn't have to be one or the other, and I promise you guys can still make such an impact no matter what these next few weeks look like. There's a great quote that I loved from John Wooden that says, "Don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can do." Let me say that again. Don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can do. You guys have seen by the power of the awards we just shared, by the power of what your chapters have done, that you guys can truly make a difference. And if you let these times get to you, then you let them get to you. But if you keep pushing forward and you keep working towards goals, you guys have so much creativity that you're going to be able to get so much done. So let me talk a little bit about some resources that might help you along the way. The first big resource I want to share is our ILHPP website. So whether you have or you haven't been on our website yet, go to ilhpp.org and you're going to find tons of information, but I'm going to guide you to some resources. Up on the top, go to the Resources tab, and on the drop down there, you'll see Program Materials. These are things like our implementation manual, which has great scheduling ideas, great activity ideas, has lots of resources about how to develop your leadership team. It's a large document, but I promise it's worth looking through. You'll also find things like our experiential manual. This one's awesome. How can you tweak an in-person icebreaker activity into doing something live or virtual, right? There are so many ways to be creative. So look into some games and activities in that experiential guide. The second drop-down menu you'll see is science modules. Both of our science modules and our leadership modules tab have so many resources. We have guides on topics. We have worksheets, activities. We even have PowerPoint presentations already set to go that you can download, you can tweak, you can make your own, you can brand with your chapter, but there's content there ready to go. So if you want to teach something about nutrition, or if you're looking to talk about commitment and accountability, it's all there. Within our leadership trainings, you'll also find our student leadership manual. This is a great resource for all of you if you're looking to dive in a little bit more about your leadership or work together as a chapter to really explore one another's leadership. I'd encourage you to download that packet as well. That even has a lot of corresponding PowerPoint presentations that you can learn from yourself and that you can turn around and teach to others as well. So if you're putting together a summit or if you want to run a workshop, all of those resources are already there for you to go. You'll even find already designed posters, already developed PSAs that are videos ready to go. You can put those up on your morning announcements. You can put those in newsletters that go out. You can email them to students and staff from your school. Our hope is to make everything as simple as we can for you and give you ideas and resources that you can take and run with. So if you're ever not seeing something that you want available, our team's there to help you with that as well. So speaking of our ILHPP team, we've mentioned several times how much we love working with you guys. Whether that's just a discussion on the phone, sharing emails back and forth, or even meeting with you face-to-face or in a virtual video if that's what the circumstances require, we're here for you guys. If you want to brainstorm, if you want us to come in and run a leadership training, if you want our support as you plan one of your programs or events, that's what we're here for. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. And I will say from our experience running our student advisory team this first year, we loved getting to connect with each chapter through student leaders. So whether you're interested in becoming a part of the student advisory team, or I'm just sharing with you that the connections we made with them really gave us an opportunity to work with them one-on-one, encourage them in their chapter development, and give them tools and resources to bring back to their own chapter. So know that all of those resources are available for you guys to make your programming a success. So this is going to be your time. We're coming up on our wrap-up shortly, but I encourage you all, make a difference through leading your legacy. The sky's the limit. You have so many ideas, and you have the power to work with all of your peers to get the projects done. So I encourage you to use this school debrief time to make that happen. But before we move on to thinking about next year, we are really excited to highlight all of the fun times, all of the good work, and everything you guys have done this past year. While it looked a little different than we might have expected, you guys still made such an impact. So I encourage you to stick around and watch our 2019-2020 ILHPP program slideshow.
You guys, we have made it. We are finished with our virtual summit. I can't believe it has come to an end, but wow, we have had so much fun just hanging out with you guys, listening to your feedback and your comments, watching you engage with our speakers on our social media posts. It has just been a really cool experience, and I'm so glad that we were able to bring what was supposed to be in person now online. All right, so there's a few more things that I want to touch base with you about before we fully wrap up the 3 days of our virtual summit. One of the first things is we're now going to enter into our final debrief call. So a lot of you were interested in doing a group or school debrief call with your chapters and your student leaders, and so some of us are actually going to be joining you. So we're looking forward to seeing you in a little bit and talking more about what you've learned through these last 3 days and what your plans are moving forward, either during this interesting summer or what's going to happen come fall for the school year. So this summer we've got a lot of awesome content coming up for you as well, so keep staying on our social media platforms, on our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, and maybe even our YouTube channel. as we give more content about our science modules. We even have some more speakers coming throughout the summer, talking about breathing and also talking about nutrition. So we're looking forward to those speakers hopping on our channels as well and sharing all that valuable information that you can then also share. So that's kind of my plug for you and your challenge to create more social media accounts with your chapters, create an Instagram or create a new Twitter account, and then you can kind of share and use our content that we're making on your pages to help you out and to help you grow those platforms. So take advantage of the things that we're posting, and if you post something new, make sure to tag us either on our Instagram, our Facebook, or our Twitter, so we can help share the success and all the amazing content that you're posting as well. So there's one other thing I want to mention. It's page 20 in your participant packet, and it's about another challenge. So we've been talking about these challenges all 3 days, and this specific challenge is during your debrief call. What we would like you to do is take a picture, write out a goal or your role during your debrief call as you're planning for what's to come, and hold up a piece of paper with that written on it. So your goal, your role, whatever the case may be, and take a screenshot of your video call and send it to us. Tag us in our social media, and that post will get you entered into win a MMP training session. It's a 30-minute leadership session with MMP presentations, which is really exciting that they're offering that to you all. So definitely participate in that one. You saw how great they were during our session on day one, so definitely consider posting that picture and get a chance to win a session with MNP. One other thing is that we are going to be putting out a survey post. So we want to hear your feedback of what you liked, what you didn't like about this virtual summit. This was a whole new experience for you and for us. So we want your honest feedback and opinions on what you would like to see again, or maybe what you'd want to change. So stay tuned on that. Check out those posts. They're going to be up soon, that you can be able to share that feedback on a survey link. And that kind of wraps up all of what we've done the last few days. And so again, I just want to take the time to thank you on behalf of the ILHPP team for all of your hard work these last 3 days and tuning in and engaging with us. We've really had an awesome time, and we wish you all the best this summer and what's to come for your future school year. So have a great time this summer. Stay well, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Take care.